I got for Christmas, guys. My best friend gave it to me. It's so cute. Ah! I love him so much. Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Sabrina and welcome back to my book nook. So it is the end of the year. I didn't really want to do a reading wrap up of every single book I've read because I'm both embarrassed and very proud of it. I thought I would just skip doing a total reading wrap up, which would take forever, and instead decided to do a summary video of basically what I think were some of my favorite reads from 2021. Now, a lot of these books are like considered popular books, I guess, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think things are popular for a reason, and it really pisses me off whenever people hate on things for the sake of hating on them so they can feel like special or cool. Nobody cares if you're doing the same thing that other people are doing. With all that being said, I think we should just get into some of my favorite reads from 2021. Okay, so first book I want to do kind of as an honorable mention because I actually haven't finished reading it yet. I'm still currently reading it. I'm currently reading like 5 or 6 books right now, so just a lot going on, but I just wanted to include this book because it's still technically a read from 2021 because I did start reading it in 2021, so I'm just gonna put it in here. So first honorable mention book is Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky. As you can see, I've not read very far. I'm only up till about like part 2, I think, but I just wanted to mention it because I think it is probably gonna be one of my favorite books of all time by the time I'm finished with this. I think reading it is an experience. I've never read a book that makes me feel the way this book has so far, so I haven't had time to catch up on this book, but I can already tell that it's probably gonna be one of my favorite books of all time when I am finished with it. And every time I do have the chance to continue reading this book, it is incredible and it only gets better, and I'm just so wrapped up in the story. I don't know, I'm really excited for this book, you guys. I'm just hoping that like the next 4 parts aren't gonna be like a total letdown but we'll see. So yeah, I just wanted to mention this book really briefly because it's amazing and I love it so far. The actual first book is possibly my favorite read of 2021. So here we go. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. So when I say this is one of my favorite reads of 2021, it's actually one of my favorite reads of all time because it is, you know, my all-time favorite book. I mean, you can just see how much I enjoy this book from the tabbing. Which actually, it actually isn't that much, to be honest. I thought I over-tapped, but looking back on it, I didn't tap that much. I didn't tap that much, you guys. Really, the orange taps are just every time Henry Winters does something hot. Something that I find hot. Should I be admitting that online? Probably not. It's fine. Anyways, I would do anything, like literally anything, to reread this book for the first time again. And each time I've reread it since, it's only gotten better and I've only loved it even more. I'm going to appreciate it even more. There's just so much character in the writing itself, and there's so much thought put behind it, and the characters themselves really just steal the show. Like, they are so amazing. I love all of them, and each of their characteristics are so distinct, and they each have such strong personas. And not to mention the story itself, like the plot is also amazing. Just everything about this book is just so amazing. Characters, they're terrible people, but you really can't help but love them, which I think is a remarkable thing to do with writing, is to write such bad people that are just so lovable. I think that's I can't even put into words what I think, because it blows my mind how much I love this book. For those of you that don't know what Secret History is about, it is essentially like dark academia excellence plus some murder and a questionable narrator with very questionable morals. I think this is my favorite read of 2021 and possibly the rest of my life. I don't know about the rest of my life, but for my life right now, this is my favorite read ever. Okay, next book. So the next book is, or rather the next books are Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows, both by Leigh Bardugo. So I couldn't really choose between the two of them. Like, both of them hold such a special place in my heart. I physically cannot choose between the two of them. I love Shadow and Bone, I love Six of Crows, and I love the Grishaverse, so I had to put them on there. You already know I had to put them on here. Anyways, I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit that I only did read the books in February. I remember I only discovered the books in about December to January, like last year, and I wanted to read them before the show came out because I saw everyone getting excited about them, and that was honestly one of the best choices I ever made. Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows launched me into my most like active book state. Does that make sense? I was binge reading so much. It just launched me on like this downward slope, and my bank account has not recovered since. But you know what? My happiness went up, so that's what really matters, right? Yeah. But honestly, these books are really what made me love reading again. I realized that the Grishaverse is not exactly the most original fantasy world, but I think the characters are just unlike any other fantasy, or just in general, any other book characters I've encountered before. You have your scrappy underdogs, you have your ruthless murderers who happen to have soft spots, you have your pretty funny characters who joke but hold a lot of trauma. It's just, you have the whole variety there. And you have these characters who are set in such simple stories, but their interactions are what make you want to read the book. I don't know how to explain these books. They're just amazing and one of the best fantasy series out there. Leigh Bardugo is really just such a phenomenal author, and the series is so amazing. And also I'm signed up for her newsletter because I am literally waiting for just any news of Nikolai or Wyland casting or anything about season 2. You guys, I am so starved of content for the show. I need this. I need her to just send another newsletter already. Psyche had to lay down now because the stack's getting a little too high. But anyways, moving on to the next book, or rather books again, Normal People and Conversations with Friends, both by Sally Rooney. Now again, I'm including both of these books because I don't really like choosing between them, and I feel like they're generally the same. They don't really have a plot. They have kind of insufferable characters, but I love them nonetheless. So I read Normal People first, which also, see, I don't think I tabbed that much. I don't think I tabbed that much, you guys. I haven't had the chance to reread Conversations with Friends and tab it yet, but I will, you guys. I'm going to tab it. Anyways, I read Normal People first, and I think my love for it just like gradually grew over time. It wasn't one of those, it's now my favorite book immediately after I finished reading it. I think it's one of those books that I sat and I thought about it a lot because it wouldn't leave my mind, and the more I thought about it, the more I grew to love it, and now it's one of these books that I never shut up about. After Normal People, I read Conversations with Friends, and after that, I really just grew to love Sally Rooney. I think that both of these books do such an amazing job of capturing human emotion and relationships. You know, some people say that the characters in both of these books are insufferable, which, you know, I totally get, but also I feel like they're also kind of relatable, which again might just be a me thing because maybe I'm just insufferable, but I like the characters. Personally, I think they're interesting to read about at least, and there's something about her writing style where it's like you really just can't stop reading for some reason. Like it's really addicting to keep reading, and I don't even know why. Also, they're both short books. Like, they're so short. You could finish them in like one sitting. And there's a reason these books are popular and a lot of people love them. Like, there is just something about them that I think really speaks to people. Not to mention, I love the writing style where there is no quotation marks. I can admit at first I was a little bit worried because there was no quotation marks, but now that I thought about it, the more I kind of love the meaning of it, and it's really just impacted me and my thinking when I read so much now. You know, there really isn't that much of a plot or anything, like there's no action, but I think the stories are still really, really interesting to read for some reason. I can't explain it, you guys. I love these books. Again, with Sally Rooney books, it's either you love her or you hate her, no in between. And unfortunately for you haters out there, I love her on this channel, so deal with it, I guess. Next book we have is No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. I know what you're thinking, you guys. I did not only get this book because of Bungo Stray Dogs, okay? I swear to God, I did not get it, okay? In fact, I wanted this book before I even knew what Bungo Stray Dogs was, and it wasn't until like I finished Bungo Stray Dogs, like all 3 seasons of it, that I realized that Dazai, the character in BSD, was based off of Osamu Dazai. I did not put those pieces together, you guys, until after I finished the show, okay? I swear to God, I did not buy this book because of that show. I've wanted this book before the show, and I did not even put the pieces together that this Dazai was the show's inspiration for Dazai, because they're the same people. And you might be asking, Sabrina, Dazai's power in BSD is literally called No Longer Human, and you wanted a book called No Longer Human by an author named Osamu Dazai, and you didn't put it together that those two were somehow connected. And my answer to you is no, I did not put that together. If you came to this channel for like super smart, in-depth thoughts and analyses of books, you came to the wrong place. I'm telling you, I do not have. As you can tell, my brain obviously does not work sometimes. Anyways, besides that whole little, I don't even know if that was downward spiral. Besides that little rant, I do think that this is one of my favorite reads of 2021 and possibly one of my favorite books ever. I still don't even know if I can fully express my thoughts on this book. There is thoughts that I know I have, but I don't know if I can articulate them right. Like, reading this book is just so incredibly depressing, but it's also so eye-opening. The title itself, honestly, though, is kind of ironic when the book is just so painfully human. It captures raw emotions and like these thoughts that we all have and puts it onto paper in such like a shove it in your face kind of way. Like, when I was reading it, it felt like I was intruding on someone's private, most inner thoughts, and it was a little bit horrifying, but also just a little bit relieving, I guess, to see that someone could possibly feel these emotions and have these thoughts also. I'm not gonna say that I relate to the protagonist in this book, because then that might concern some people, so I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that I think the book did a really good job of conveying human emotion, particularly mine. Okay, anyways, and also I think that this book is one of those books that as you grow older and you read it when you're older, it's only going to reveal more of its brilliance, because I feel like it's one of those books that's for all, it's not for all ages. What am I saying? I think that it's just one of those books that when you mature, it matures with you, or its meaning matures with you, and you sort of understand more of it, at least. So I am so excited for rereading this. I'm not excited for rereading this book, oh my god. But I am definitely curious as to see how I will interpret this book, if I ever do, which I probably will, reread it in the future. Moving on to my last book, which is The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. You know what, guys? It is the last day of 2021, and I have no shame anymore. I can be a better person in 2022, but for now it's still technically 2021, so I'm gonna say I liked my glorified Reylo fanfiction, okay? So I haven't even seen Star Wars, so I don't even know what Reylo was like. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just know that this man is supposed to be Adam Driver. So, I don't know, you guys. I'm just saying, it's a good book, and I have no shame anymore. But yeah, anyways, I am here to unironically tell you that this was actually a really good book and ended up being one of my favorite reads of 2021 for some reason. The truth is, I really do want to get into more like romance, rom-com books, I guess. I only have like a couple, which I'm kind of upset about. It just seems that whenever I do go out to buy books, I always lean towards like non-romance rom-com books for some reason, and I really do want to change that. Maybe that should be like a 2022 New Year's resolution. Read more romance books. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll read more romance books, I guess. I think this was just a really good, solid romance book. Like, I don't know what to say. It's incredibly cliche and very, very cheesy, but I think that it is really good anyways. Like, it has every possible trope. It has the fake dating trope. It has the he hates everyone but her trope. It has mutual pining. It has one-sided pining. It also briefly mentions that there's only one bed trope, which that entire scene in the book is hilarious, by the way. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe read the book and then find out. I just think that as far as a romance book goes, or at least as far as romance books I've read so far goes, this is top tier, you guys. It's not top tier, it's top tier, you guys. Maybe I am a little bit embarrassed to tell people I've read this, let alone it's one of my favorite reads of 2021. But you know what? I'm sure there are people with worse taste out there. You know, there's some people who read glorified fairy porn. So I feel really justified in my choice. And I don't really know why I'm getting so defensive about this. Maybe because it's my last favorite read I want to talk about, so I'm kind of done with this video now. Yeah, but anyways, these are all my favorite reads of 2021. We have everything from fantasy to romance to a little bit of existential crisis. No, we got everything. And you know what, as my last video of 2021, I just want to say this has actually been a pretty good year for me. I think, kind of, maybe. I got back into reading this year. I started my channel this year. I don't know, I think I'm really excited for next year, but also I'm in a bit of a reading slump right now, so I'm a little worried I'm not gonna have time to read anymore. But who knows? You know, we don't know yet. We don't know what 2022 will be like, but for now I'm honestly pretty happy with 2021, and I'm really excited for 2022. So yeah, there you go. Those are my favorite reads of 2021. This is my last video of 2021. But yeah, I think that's everything. If you watched this entire thing, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, don't. Hated it, give a thumbs down. I don't really care, but you know, don't do that because I do care, but I don't care. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!